I want to move on now to what Donald Trump has been up to, and he's been honouring the family of Laken Riley, as well as other victims of crimes by illegal immigrants, by declaring an Angel Family Day. And this date was chosen in remembrance of Laken Riley, who was, of course, killed on February 22, 2024. Here is the president.
Americans like Laken and Grant and Javier, Joshua, Rocky, Rachel, Kayla, these are great people, and we're never going to forget them. I'll never forget them. I don't know how long I'll be around. Got a lot of people gunning for me, don't I? Huh? But I will not forget them. I'm never going to forget them. And I just think you're among the most brave people. I meet a lot of brave people. I meet warriors. I give out congressional medals of honor where people recommend, like these two in front of me who are so wonderful, but they recommend, and I meet the greatest people. But this is a group of people that, for whatever reason, I just feel maybe the warmest about. So at least you have one friend, and we don't understand why you don't have many, and maybe you will.
It's not too often we really get to see the softer side of Donald Trump, but this event is certainly a very special one, Ted, and it's the first of its kind to honour angel families who have had loved ones killed by illegals.
That's right, and isn't that just incredible to see? The most powerful man in the world, right? And I can tell you, as someone who's spent some time with the president, he's got a big heart.
Yeah.
He loves people. His heart breaks for these mothers. And in an era where you see this nonstop demonization of federal law enforcement officials, whether it's ICE, members of the National Guard, regular Americans, right? Everyday Americans who are just trying to do their job. They want to come home at the end of the day, too. They want to go home to their families. And the way that the left demonizes these individuals and really hides the reality and just for whatever reason ignores the very real problems when it comes to illegal immigration in this country. It's so refreshing to see a president who's willing to stand up for those that don't have a voice, right? These angel moms, many of them have been ignored for years by Democrat Party politicians and, of course, the legacy media. So I'm so glad you played that clip for your audience so that they can see a side of the president, right, that a lot of folks don't always get to see. He really does love people, and that really was on display with that.
Yeah, the mainstream media doesn't often show Donald Trump's side like that, which, as you say, is certainly there with a big heart. This tribute, of course, comes as Donald Trump prepares to give his State of the Union address. Ted, I want to get your thoughts on what we can expect from this, but also the Democrats. We've heard from some Democratic leaders encouraging troops to protest Donald Trump's State of the Union address. I mean, so miserable. Some are planning on boycotting it altogether. It brings me back to last year. Of course, you'd remember during the first congressional address of Trump's second term, Democrats demonstrated, they held up signs, they walked out mid-speech and made absolute fools of themselves, including Al Green. He was kicked out for heckling the president with a cane. Let's just look at this.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant-at-arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Ted, that was just one example. I mean, the Democrats really embarrassed themselves. But what can you tell us? What can we expect from Donald Trump and also the Democrats?
Look, the president's really going to highlight his successes across the board, from immigration to the economy. And of course, he's got to do this, and he's got to be braggadocious in a way, right? Because we live in a country with a legacy media that refuses to give him credit for anything. So expect to see a lot of facts and figures that highlight just how successful this president's been in his second term. I also expect to see him kind of signal and send a message to some of our foreign adversaries, right? Of course, we're watching closely what's happening in Iran. of course, the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict that continues to drag on. While the State of the Union, oftentimes the president is speaking to a domestic audience. I'll be watching to see what the president, what he's signaling to some of our foreign, both adversaries and allies.
And just on, other countries, just last month you put questions to Donald Trump about Venezuela. He said Venezuela is going to have peace and justice. What's your assessment of where Venezuela is at now in the space of just a couple of months with Maduro gone? And I also want to get your thoughts on Colombia, because we know that Donald Trump warned Colombia's president to watch his ass. Has anything happened, or what's happened in Colombia since that meeting between their president and Donald Trump?
But when it comes to Venezuela, boy, did that send a message. And it isn't hyperbole to suggest that that is one of the most successful U.S. foreign operations since World War II. And did that send a message, right, to the rest of the world, to both places, strong men and our allies and foes alike. We went in there, we were able to capture Maduro with virtually no loss of life to ourselves, limited casualties in Venezuela, and Maduro tonight is sitting in a Brooklyn jail cell, right? So the success of that operation, I think, really sent a message to, obviously, Iran, Russia, and the rest of the world, including China, that under President Trump, the United States isn't just going to walk the walk. They're going to, they're not just going to talk the talk. They're going to walk the walk. President Trump is a man of action, right? And that's what we saw in Venezuela. And I think that's why you saw in Colombia and elsewhere, their leadership right afterwards, they were quick to hop on the phone and speak with the president. And again, that's why you even see with Iran, right? Right now, they're dealing with the United States, and they ask for one-on-one meetings with the United States because they know it's President Trump who you need to talk to and get through to. And so they canceled having a group of countries in Turkey. They said, nah, we want to talk one-on-one with the United States. And that happened after Venezuela, because Iran and the rest of the world is, if they didn't know it already, right, they're quickly understanding that this is the president who's not afraid to act. He's not going to be bullied or pressured by your the usual critics or international organizations. He's going to take quick, decisive action on behalf of what he feels is the best interests of the United States.
Ted Goodman, political advisor, media consultant, thank you so much for your time and joining us. Really appreciate it, and great to speak with you.
Congratulations on all your continued success. You are quickly becoming one of the biggest stars out there.
Ted Goodman, you're way too kind. Thank you so much. We'll speak to you soon.